I am Dr. Kelly Morgan, Senior Curator and Interim Vice President of Exhibitions and Programs at the Charles H. Wright Museum. Culturally specific institutions, like the Wright are really important because the context is very different. Showing works like, Ruth Carter's designs or African American, photography, those kind of things. Audiences get a very deep look, into Black cultural production right from the mouths of people who produce it.
My name is Jennifer Evans. My title is Exhibitions Manager, and we are standing in the exhibition Ruth E. Carter, Afrofuturism in Costume Design. The Wright Museum is a first voice institution, meaning that African Americans tell the story of African American history. And so that's very important to center that African American experience in the telling of the history, because not only can we express all the diverse ways that African Americans live in the world, we can also control the perspective of that story. So much of American history is told from the white European perspective, and that is one part of history that's absolutely important, but it doesn't always capture the dynamics of another perspective that might have been, if not just as important, but might affect the context of that historical moment.
The Wright is really great in having just an interdisciplinary offering, of shows right now. So we have Ruth Carter's Designs, which is more of like a textile show, fashion and costume. We have the Tuskegee Airmen Gallery, so you can learn about the history of World War II from a Black perspective. We have two really beautiful shows of photography downstairs, Adrienne Waheed's Audacity to Thrive and John Dowell's Paths to Freedom. Adrienne's work looks at Black festivals and the way in which we love and we resist and joy and like all the different ways that Black culture is expressed visually. John's show really looks at or is asking us a different question about enslavement and freedom, and specifically asking, what does it mean to think about cotton as a witness, to both enslavement and freedom, and also asking us to think about cotton as an unwilling participant, in enslavement. And then of course we have our core exhibition in Still We Rise, which is the broad narrative of the history of Africans and African Americans in this country. We just updated it. It's the first update that we've made to it in about 15 years. And that update looks at the life and legacy of Judge Damon Keith, very beloved and important, civil rights leader and judge here in Michigan and the country overall.
So every 6 months we change our rotating galleries. Sometimes we change in 90 days, sometimes a year. The conception for exhibitions comes from a lot of different places. Sometimes it is an anniversary of an event. Sometimes it's prompted by an outside organization. Sometimes it's prompted by the political, social climate of the moment. And so it's hard to really give you an exact place, but we are a history museum and we focus primarily on centering Detroit. And so we usually pick stories that have a Detroit story built in. Of course, they're about the Black experience, whether that's cultural or historic, and something that, of course, gets visitors excited about history, maybe thinking about history in a new way, but that can cross every audience.
I want people to walk away knowing that, again, we're more similar, right, than we are different, and that things that are very common to your parents or your grandparents or in your communities are also common in communities that don't look like yours.